Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle, and this is the third in my top 100 mystery novels of all time series. I found this book at the library, the Crown Crime Companion, the 100 top mystery novels of all time as selected by the Mystery Writers of America. This book was published in 1995, and I've been going through the list to see how many of them have I read, how many of them do I own and have yet to read, and how many of them do I want to read but I don't own them, and how many of them I am just not interested in. So in this video, we will be looking at the books on the list from 60 to 41. And we will see if I have possibly read any more, because so far this isn't looking so good. For someone who reads an awful lot of mysteries, I have only read 8 so far, which is not great. So hopefully it gets better. Number 60 on the list is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee from 1960, and I have definitely read that. I'm a little bit surprised that this is considered a mystery, but I guess not. It is a courtroom drama, so it counts. Number 59 is The Lady in the Lake by Raymond Chandler from 1943. There are a number of books by Raymond Chandler on this list. And I'm kind of bulking that in with Hard Boiled, and I am not a big fan of Hard Boiled, so I am just choosing 1 or 2 off this list to read, and so this one is going in the not interested category. Number 58 is Smiley's People by John Le Carre. Someone tell me how to say that. I'm not entirely sure. From 1979, he of course writes all of the spy espionage thrillers, which I am not super interested in, and so for that one I am going to say not interested. 57 on the list is The Innocence of Father Brown by G.K. Chesterton from 1911. And I have read that. I have read almost all of the Father Brown stories. They were all short stories. There is not a single one that is a full-length novel. But I really quite enjoy the Father Brown stories, and this is the first one, and I have definitely read it. 56 on the list is Murder Must Advertise by Dorothy L. Sayers from 1933. And this is another of Dorothy L. Sayers that I have not yet read. I do own all of her books and I fully intend to read them all, but so far I have not yet read that one. 55 is Rogue Male by Geoffrey Household in 1939. This is a dark psychological thriller, and I think that I will read it, but I'm a little bit worried because it sounds very dark, and I am not always a fan of super dark stories. 54 is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote from 1966. This is his book written based on a true crime, and I have not read it. 53 on the list is A Thief of Time by Tony Hillerman from 1988. And he wrote kind of American mysteries, and so this one is going in the not interested. Generally speaking, I think I tend to enjoy British mysteries more than American mysteries, but that's not set in stone. There are plenty of American mysteries that I do enjoy. 52 is The First Deadly Sin by Lawrence Sanders from 1973. He is considered a suspense and mystery writer of great inventiveness. And this book is basically pitting his detective against a psychotic serial killer at large in New York City. And I have not read it, but I would, so not owned TBR. And 51 on the list is Is For Alibi by Sue Grafton, 1982. I own all of her Kinsey Millhone stories, and I love them to bits. So I've definitely read that. I love that she chose to set her series in the 80s. I thought that was such an interesting choice because it puts certain constrictions on her detective, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. 50, Where Are the Children by Mary Higgins Clark from 1975. I have never read Mary Higgins Clark, which is, it feels like a bit of a confession because hasn't she written like a million books? Not sure why I've never read her, but yeah, I would totally give it a shot. So, not owned TBR. 49 on the list. So we are now halfway through the list of the top 100 mystery books of all time, according to the Mystery Writers of America. 49 is The Killer Inside Me by Jim Thompson from 1952. Jim Thompson is considered one of America's greatest noir writers. I am not a huge fan of noir, but I would give it a go. Number 48 is The Third Man by Greene from 1950. I am going to put that on not interested. There's other Greenes that I think I would read before that. 47 is Bank Shot by Donald E. Westlake from 1972. He writes kind of comic capers, and I feel like if you've read one, you've kind of read them all, and so that one is going in not interested. 46 is The Laughing Policeman by Sjowall and Wahloo. I just completely butchered those names. I'm very, very sorry. This is from 1970. I own this series of 10 books about their detective Martin Beck, but I have not yet read it. All right, 45. I, the Jury by Mickey Spillane from 1947. This is definitely a hard-boiled detective book that I am not very interested in reading. 44 is Laura by Vera Caspary from 1942. And look at this fantastic copy I have of it. This is the Popular Library edition with the tagline, "She was too beautiful to live." I picked this one up actually just a few months ago, and I have not yet read it. So, owned TBR. 43, The Ipcress File by Len Deighton from 1962. This is an espionage thriller, and I have a limited capacity for Cold War era spy thrillers, so that's going on my not interested. 42 is The Firm by John Grisham from 1991. Now here is a funny confession. I have read, I think, every John Grisham book except for this one. And I don't know why. I really like John Grisham, and there was a period a number of years ago where I just like blew through all of his books. I read them all. I really enjoyed them. But for some reason, I've never picked this up. And I don't entirely know why. But since it is number 42 on this list, I'm going to have to give it a go. Owned TBR. And the last one for this video, number 41 on the list, is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie from 1934. Murder on the Orient Express. Yes, I have most definitely read it. So we are down to 40 books left to go through on this list. We've done 60, and of those 60, I have read 12. I own 12 that I want to read. I don't own 19, but I want to read them, and 20 that I am not interested in. This is not looking so good so far. I hope that the top 40 books of all time, more of those I've read or am interested in reading, or I don't know if I can call myself a true mystery fan. What is going on here? Very interesting. So, have you read any of these 20 books? I would love to hear about it in the comment section down below. And have you been thinking about it? What books do you think might appear in the top 10 list of the 100 mystery novels of all time? And I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye.